Hey everybody, welcome to Tulsa Music Stream. This is episode 3?
We are on 34.
34. All right. See, I don't know. It's all bundling up together, you know.
Numbers. It's all about the addition.
Yeah, we have a very cool episode tonight. With a little change of plans, we're going to have Mr. Pearcy on the telephone instead of Zoom. But that was his request, so we're just going to go roll with it and just do it that way.
Yes, we are.
But it's going to be a cool interview talking to Stephen Pearcy from Ratt, and just make sure you share our channel on all of your favorite groups, all your favorite pages, and just on your own personal accounts, and that would be cool so we can get more people in here to ask some questions and have a good time with Mr. Pearcy.
Share it with your neighbors, like literally.
Yeah.
Go to their house.
Knock on their door.
Right.
Give them the link.
Please.
They'll appreciate you for it. And we want to give a shout out to some folks in the chat room. The numbers are building. I like it. Elizabeth Talcott, David Boone, John Gates, Laura Dobbs, Steve McCabe, Mama Gay Fishback, Kendra Bostic, Jamie Hooper, Tony Keeler, just to mention a few. We've got a bunch of people coming on in. We appreciate that.
Hi.
Like Scott said, this is going to be a really cool episode. We were hoping for Zoom, but you know what? We are grateful to get a phone call with Stephen Pearcy.
You know what? I'm just going to wear the glasses. I thought we were, going to see Mr. Pearcy all decked out with his rock and roll, garb. Well, so I thought, I'll just do it for him.
You look wonderful.
You did it. You're doing it for us now, and we matter too.
Right. I appreciate it.
Normal people matter.
Give them some love and ask some questions, and we'll try to get to them as we can, and we'll just have a good time.
We tried to envision why he wanted to do a phone call. Scott thought maybe he's at band practice and maybe just it's been hot and stuff, and we're just gonna go with that one, man.
And also, we are on multiple platforms. This is our first show ever doing it. We should be on YouTube, Twitter. We are on Twitch, and of course Facebook. We're eventually going to add it to the group and the event itself, but we only have so much time to work this stuff out, including having day jobs. So it is what it is.
But we got it going. It's building, and we like to build and we like to grow. We do appreciate you guys being in here tonight. We're going to call them in a few minutes. We wanted to just come in here a couple minutes early, kind of get loosened up, get the folks in the chat room, get everybody settled in for an awesome interview. Real quick before we call him, now I know when you guys first got into music, it was Kiss and all that. When did you guys get into Ratt?
I think the first time for me was, I think it was probably that I saw a video on some music show of, I think they were playing live at Perkins Palace in California, and it was from about 1983, I think right before Out of the Cellar blew up, and then of course the Round and Round video, and I think right around then probably for me.
Yeah, I mean, back then, we had all the resources like Hit Parader and Circus and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, they would promote things, and I remember seeing the EP with the rats on the ladies' legs. So, at that time, I did not know that was Tawny Katane, but I actually then the Round and Round stuff came out, and I saw that on MTV, and it was pretty quickly after like Quiet Riot and Motley Crue and all that came out. It was right then and there. So I immediately fell in love with it. The guy picking up the tray with his studded wristband, and all the rats just go over, and the girls are dancing, and all the their older people are shaking their jewelry to like run off, and Milton Berle and all that. It's very cool.
Good stuff.
And I bought that album and fell in love with it, and then fell in love with Invasion of Your Privacy, and it went from there. So
for sure. Well, it is 7:00 Central. Why don't I'm going to give you time to get him called up on the phone. You start dialing him up, and we'll just give a shout out to more people in the chat room: Michelle Hooper, Tim Hewitt, Gage Kelly, Teresa Weber, Daniel Donkey, our buddy. Scott Gurley just joined us. Thank you for being in here. Cindy Lee Thompson. We appreciate all of you guys supporting Tulsa Music Stream. And man, we're just loving doing this, and we are amazed at the stuff that's been falling out. Keep those dominoes falling. It's been an amazing journey, and we're just fascinated by all of it. We're going to get Mr. Pearcy on the phone right now.
Yes.
Mr. Pearcy,
Yes.
This is the Exterminator. I'm hearing you're having a rat problem.
Yeah, right. That's me. I am the problem.
We were going to come and rescue you, you know?
How's it going?
It's going good. This is Tulsa Music Stream. We got you on live, and got some people in the chat room waiting to hear you. So, how you doing?
Doing real good. Just getting ready to do some shows this weekend, and that's about it. Go out there and kick some ass.
Yeah, you guys just released a handful of dates, and I believe in, a couple of days you're going to be in Minnesota?
Yes, I'll be in Brainerd, and then I have a solo show for Freedom Fest to support our good old vets, you know.
That's awesome.
And that's in Colorado.
That's in Colorado, correct.
Awesome.
Very cool.
So you're just kind of just going back and forth to your solo dates and some Ratt dates, and giving everyone the full package.
Yeah, until there's a bunch more shows going down. There is a handful of Ratt dates, a couple in July, one in August, and that's going to be about it till the end of the year, till we regroup. The solo band will be out, and then I'll be dabbling in and out of the studio all year for the rest of the year to get the new solo record out.
Excellent. When can we expect to see that release, Stephen?
I hope to get that out. Well, what happened with that was it ended up turning into a double record now because we have so much music, and so I decided, well, it'll be out before summer next year, but it is a double record, and it's going to be chock full of good songs.
I think you put something out on Facebook about it, and you said about 2022, and then you even kind of gave it like a slight title for it. What's that name of the title?
Yeah, I did. I did. It's gonna be, since it's a double record. To me, it's a double shot. It's Bond related, not the content, but agent provocateurs. Yeah.
Wow.
Which means we're just troublemakers, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome. So I see that you did a corporate private concert with your solo band as well.
Yeah, the Rat Bastards. Yeah, we have that out there. Everybody does, except nobody really puts it out there. I do. And those are fun to do because, that's our demographic. They grew up with us, grew up with Ratt in the beginning, 83, 84. And some people can go, hey, I want that fucking guy to play my show, play my birthday, and they can afford it. So we go do it,
Hey, you got to take what you can get. That's awesome.
Well, they're fun to do, it becomes, after a while, it just becomes a thing. You see these people like once a year, so it's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Scott and I are really big fans of your guitar player, Eric Ferentinos. Tell us a little bit about how you met him and when you guys started working together.
Oh, Eric, I was living in La Costa in San Diego at the time, and I was off the road. And then when I'd come home, he was a neighbor across the street from me, and he was just this 16-year-old guitar player guy, 17 in a band in San Diego. Happened to live across the street from me. Nobody really saw me because I just pull in and out of my house like the Batcave. But he would open his garage door and his band would play because he figured out, hey, there's that Ratt guy lives across the street, And so I finally hit him up one day. I said, hey, what do? You're a band guy. I get it. Come over and I'll record some stuff. And we did, and his band ended up getting a good buzz in San Diego. They opened up for Halford and some other people, and we just started writing and recording and became friends. And I needed a guitar player, and he was really, really developing, like incredibly years later. And I just hired him,
Nice.
That's it.
Steven, I
He's
know
been
you.
around. He's been around for like 15 years or more.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time.
He's a great player.
You were born
Yeah.
in Long Beach, right?
Me, yeah, I was born in Long.
And then you,
Yeah.
you relocated to San Diego, and
Migrated to Dango, I call it, in 71, and then left in 1980 back to LA. And in between the 10 years there, I moved forth. I mean, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but anyway, I pulled back down there, and it's kind of cool that I did, or I wouldn't have met Eric.
Right. Right.
So it's all good.
so what was it like in San Diego in the 70s, as far as like any kind of
Oh God.
music scene?
70s. Okay, well, it was like every weekend you'd go see a concert, because where we lived was right near the San Diego Sports Arena. We can look down on it and you can see it from where our house was. And I'd go see, like, what was it like? It was full of a bunch of hippie dippy pot smoking, mushroom taking people, until I pulled into town and turned it into a window pane LSD cement pirate party. But it had a bunch of local bands, and when I got into music. But every weekend you could see Blue Oyster Cult, Foghat, Kiss. I mean, I saw Zeppelin twice in 1 week there, and I mean, a lot of activity in the 70s. It was kind of a cool environment to start playing music and learning my craft until if you call it that, until I moved to LA. Until a friend of mine introduced me to a band, Van Halen, in '78, and it was all over with. I had to get up there
Plus you got
and
to meet several future bandmates in San Diego as well.
Oh yeah, a lot of them migrated. When I pulled up, a lot of them followed, because they knew, as soon as Van Halen came to town, all my peers, if they haven't met Ed through me already in '78. Knew that you had to get out of San Diego. You had to be in LA to make it, the bright lights, city lights, the big noise, that kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
The only place to get noticed.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about your backstage pass documentary. When is that coming out?
We're hoping to get that out next year. We're working on it always. It's not Backstage Past was a working title, which is defunct. I think I'm calling it Backstage Blast, Back for More. We'll figure it out, because the content of that is evolving all the time. I mean, as we are sitting here putting it together, it changes all the time. So what we thought it was going to be, which was very cool, it has gotten even better. And so it'll be more of a production, and it's going to take time, but we're willing to do it. Christy Adair, my girlfriend, and I, soon to be wife, girl.
Miss Truth Adair, right?
Baby. Yeah, it's our Miss Truth Adair. That's her spine. But we'll have that out. It's pretty exciting, because you put Daryl's House and that metal show and Playboy After Dark together, and that's what you get.
Nice.
That's cool.
Steven.
Yeah, I want it to be way different than just having a guest on to jam or something. It's got to be more involved, and it's a dirty job, but I'm the man to do it. I'll do it.
Sure.
Hey, you guys did a cover of Girls on Film. You took a cool song and made it even cooler. When did you get the idea that you wanted to cover that? And it turned out fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I've always liked Duran Duran. That came about on their anniversary, right? I believe it was the anniversary or something of Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I decided. Yeah, I mean, it's in my book, the whole story. I had met Simon Le Bon at a club in New York, and I just wanted to get a picture or meet him, and he blew me off, right? So I got the photo anyway. So
awesome.
I decided, well, shit, let me pay. There was a reason why we did it, and I think that was the correlation of it.
In the book,
but anyway, it did turn out great. We love it.
Yes, it's good.
So the book you're talking about is Sex, Drugs, and Rat and Roll, right?
Yeah.
Great book.
And there will be a part 2, but it won't be called Sex, Drugs, and Rat and Roll.
You know, with all of the documentaries and all these, movies coming out like Motley Crue's and all that,
Yeah.
it would be a cool thing for Ratt to come out with some stuff like that. So we're really looking forward to getting that backstage blast and all that going.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I have a documentary coming out actually real soon. We've been working on for months. It'll be about the history of me creating the band Ratt, my band Ratt, and it's way in depth. It'll be a 3-part series on coming out real soon. We'll announce the release date. I hope it's this month, I think, or maybe next month it'll be released.
Cool.
And I'll put it up everywhere people can get a look at it.
And so you also released a song, an unreleased solo song from the 2000s called "Don't Want to Talk About It." Tell me a little bit about that. What made you want to put that out right now?
It was just a groovy video, so I was just watching it and decided I wanted to put a clip of it out. But it's been out. I mean, look, the way I work now and write is if I'm not going to deliver you a full record, I'm always working and writing, and so I just like to get things out there. I mean, there's no big deal to me to give a song out there for people to have and give their opinion on. I could, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's good to put some music out there instead of going, hey, here, give me $1, buy my song. So
Sure.
I just put them out just to fucking put them out,
Yeah, you seem to be very active on your social media, and I really liked how you interact with all your fans. You seem to be, you seem to be more proactive with your fans, and kind of you throw stuff out, even if you're just hanging out by the pool or just playing a guitar, doing all those things. Whereas there's other guys that are on Twitter and all these others like Dee Snider and Sebastian Bach. They seem to be in these confrontations with their fans, kind of fighting with them. But you don't go that course.
No disrespect. I mean, I love Dee. I really wasn't much of that, but you know what? Everything's so reality driven, and it's nice to, or it's kind of way cool to give a little bit out there and chat with people and whatever. I mean, if you do my cameos, I have fun doing those because I play guitar and write song. I mean, I just jam for whoever, I just jam and have a good time with that. So I like to interact every now and then, yeah.
Well, we really appreciate it because I remember you hit like, or you said I posted a picture of some barbecue, and you and I are friends on Facebook, and you said, hey, why didn't you? Where was my invite or something like that? So
he was hungry. He was fucking hungry.
Right.
So
yeah, there you go.
So
now I'm well taken care of.
So now that you finally, after I bugged you for over a year of getting you on this show, I at least owe you a plate of barbecue when you come to Rocklahoma.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Well, Rocklahoma, huh? I don't know if we're playing there, are we?
You
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, you're scheduled to play. I hope you show up.
Oh, yeah, that's a solo show. That's a solo show in
Right.
Oklahoma on the 5th. So, yeah, that's barbecue.
Yep, absolutely. Here in Oklahoma, so we'll bring you the best. Our friend Doug Burgess, he runs the DEB concert stage out there at Rocklahoma, so really good friends with us. He's actually a sponsor of our show, so it'll be really cool. Yeah, so it was good that he's got you on his stage, and everyone, I think it's on a Thursday night, and let me tell you, those Thursday nights, if I'm correct, that's the date, but people go crazy because they haven't been to any festivals or anything like that, so you're going to get a packed full house, my brother.
Yep, definitely.
Well, let me tell you, my friend, I don't give a shit if it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's all the same to me. Get out there and have a great time while I'm doing it,
Sure.
Hey, I want to go back to your solo albums. You put out such a powerful and incredible song on Smash called Rain, and that's about your daughter. Tell us a little bit about that song and about her.
Well, she's grown up to be a quite a good young lady. We don't really put her out there that much, personal stuff. She's that song, you know what? I'd have to think about that. That's pretty much a song of like, uh, you're always there, and I'd really have to get into it to explain it.
Sure.
I don't even know what I talk about sometimes. That's why you guys get my lyrics wrong all the time.
Well, I totally related to it. I was actually Googling, or not Googling, but I was on YouTube, and it just popped up, and I haven't heard anything off that Smashed yet. And that was the first song I heard, and I heard it, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's brilliant!" And you sounded great on it. Your voice sounds good, and the orchestration of the song was great at the end, and so from there I just dove right into all your solo stuff. I went and got Smashed, and became an instant fan. And of course, your
cool.
the next one after that, your James Bond themed album is just as great.
Yeah, right on. Thank you. Yeah. Well, Rain, yeah. Let's see. Rain. Tears. Yeah, that's like taking on your kids, not just mine, your sons and daughters, taking on their pain, their worry, their whatever they got to relieve them to a happier place, but that's what that's about. But thank you. I mean, the albums have become more diverse, and that's what's so cool about this next record. I should have called it Double Shot. We'll see. But right now there's so many good songs. There's really heavy songs. I'm writing with Jerry Montana, my bass player, Montano, who used to be in Hell Yeah. And with the brothers and between Eric and my own writing, I think the second record, a good portion of the second record will just be me on guitars. So it's going to be very interesting,
Cool.
Awesome.
It's definitely progressing, the stuff. Definitely.
Yeah.
I want to take you back to 1983 or so. I want to know about the impact on Ratt's sound that Robin Crosby had.
The king.
Lot. Well, you have another question?
No.
No, I thought you were going to ask another one.
No.
No, well, I'll tell you, the impact Robin had on the Ratt sound was I delivered the first songs. The EP were all Mickey Ratt songs pretty much until we wrote You Think You're Tough. And then I knew we can write some good songs together, right? So, and when he also Tell the World, which is our first ever recording, the guitar playing that he instigated or pretty much made our trademark sound with the whammy, the heavy. Robin was pretty much into heavy shit. Robin turned me on to like Priest, Accept, and all these heavier bands in San Diego way back in the 70s, late 70s, and he was young. And his guitar playing definitely set our sound. I mean, whether I played guitar on a song or wrote it, once you got him in there, he gave us our sound pretty much. And then Warren pulls in and forget about it. He just progressed so rapidly, and there's our signature,
Yeah, you kind of set the bar for many other bands, after you guys to get the duo, axe slingers out there and kind of do their thing, and it's brilliant because you can listen to that stuff and it especially the first two, the EP and Out of the Cellar, the guitar solos is like. Who's that? Which one's that? Is that Robin? Was that So it was always a guess game.
Yeah, you're right. For a while there, until Warren started doing a lot more solos when the songs started getting a little trippier, I'll say, around Reach for the Sky and Detonator and, that whole Way Cool bit. And it's years later, and we've been playing like 2 million shows. Everything kind of got a little, I can't say kicked back, but Robin and I were always instigating the heavier songs, trying to retain that heavy sound, from the EP and Cellar. The EP is my favorite record. It's just raw.
Oh, I love that one.
We'll release it again soon enough.
That's cool.
You know, for guys like us, we were young teens in the early '80s, and the MTV generation. You know, when bands like you and the Crew came along, and you're putting out videos. For me personally, I think, you know, the Back for More video, the guys you party with and fucking are great friends with get to be in the video with you, and that was the coolest thing to me as a 14-year-old kid. It's like that's fucking Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee. that was so cool. You know, what are your memories of that video?
Oh, well, I mean, shit, you know, we hung out, you know, when I moved into town in 1980, I believe Nikki was already here in London and other bands, and we kind of met in 81, because it was like, well, who's the baddest guys around? Okay, it was Motley Crue, and Motley Crue's going, well, who's the baddest guys around? Well, there's this band called Mickey Ratt or something, and so we kind of checked each other out, and then we became really good friends. And, you know, we hung out all the time before they got there. They were always a little bit ahead of us in terms of a lot of stuff. And anyway, we hung out a lot, and it was kind of cool back then. You know, we were more of a street gang, you know, back then. And then to watch each other progress and have records and hits, it's cool. Still talk to him this day, you know, to these days, you know, to this day. You know, I do solo shows with Vince, and that'll be coming up soon.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
So it's still cool, yeah.
Yeah, and your first EP and Out of Cellar, this is Scott, by the way. The EP and Out of Cellar both had Tawny Katane on the album cover. And she has just recently passed away. How close and what memories do you have of Tawny?
Oh, well, Tawny, well, I mean, you know, goes way back to San Diego in the late 70s when I met Robin. Robin was in his band. We'd meet each other, but I didn't really know that he lived down the block from my grandmother in Pacific Beach. And when I found that out, I'd be going over there all the time, and he was with Tawny, living with Tawny. They were just like teenagers, you know, and you know, wanted to make it together, I guess. And my memories are mostly of that. And, you know, the EP was fun, the cover to do. Cellar cover, I wasn't involved with the art directing on that so much as the later records, art directing. But, yeah, the EP was fun. Great stories about throwing the rats on her and stuff with Neil Slows, Howard the photographer. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit about your working time with Beau Hill. You know, we've heard some interviews, his side of the story, kind of his recollections of that recording time with you all. What's your take working with Beau, and do you regret working with Beau? And do you guys you don't regret it? Okay.
No. I had a great experience with Beau during all those records. I actually still talk to him, and frequently, actually, and he mixed and mastered a single of mine a couple years back. And I mean, shit, if Ratt, the original guys, were ever do a record, I would surely want him to be a part of it. I don't know how the other guys feel, but I still use his schematics when I record. I mean, he introduced me to a whole new way of working, singing, and recording. And the best thing about it was we both started together. He started his producing career with Ratt as his first real band producing. So if it wasn't for him producing, you might not have heard Round and Round, and we might not have had the continual success as we had during those the late 80s and stuff.
Right.
You know, it's interesting to hear the interviews that Beau did with Full in Bloom. He's, you know, a lot of inside stuff, man. I was like just blown away with some of the things that was said and everything that went on. Yeah,
right. You never know, but what goes on in there. But you know, he did teach me one thing: when you get in the studio, you make use of it, and and take care of business. I love the studio, actually. I love writing. I can go in there with nothing and come out with a great song,
Right.
just because of how I've learned to do things in the studio. And I'll blame it on him. He taught me a lot, actually. I didn't just sit there all fucked up and yell at you and push record, you know.
Right.
I was taking notes.
Right.
I was taking notes. We were all into the production kind
Right.
of thing, but it you know, when
Yeah.
I had a job to do, I got it done.
I want to ask you one more question about Robin, and then we'll move on from that topic. I know you've been
Yeah.
asked about him hundreds, if not thousands, of times, and there's probably not an angle of a question about him that you haven't heard. But I guess what I want to ask you tonight is your thoughts on how things might have been different as far as how Ratt transpired through the years, had Robin stayed healthy and alive and stayed in the band.
Oh, it would be a brilliant thing. We would have maybe taken on characteristics of an Aerosmith, of the Stones, a band that just wanted to hang out and be together, you know. But when you have success, you get a lot of bad things too,
Sure.
believe it or not. And Robin would be kicking ass all over the place right
I
now
know.
if he was here. And that's where I miss him, you know, is he pretty much kept us together, and if somebody needed a slap upside the head, he would do it, you know.
Yeah.
So you definitely
And he
feel
was
that,
very creative. He was
Mhm.
very creative too. So
and you feel that maybe some of the interpersonal conflict might have been more kind of kept under wraps if Robin's presence had been there. Is that kind of what you're saying?
that's an understatement.
Okay, I got
He
you.
would, like I said, he would be slapping people literally across the head.
Gotcha.
Wow.
He
you
was
know,
an
like,
awesome
don't
guy.
fuck up our trip. Don't fuck up our baby. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Very
That's-
good.
That's cool.
Very good.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about Invasion of Your Privacy, and it's my favorite record out of all of them. I don't know. I fell in love with it, but I do want to critique it, and I don't know if it was the, you know, who dropped the ball on it. At least in my opinion, I think it could have really done a lot of hell rock and roll damage had Lay It Down be the leading single instead of You're in Love.
You know, I don't. Yeah, you know, that's an up in the air thing. You know, I get what you're trying to say. You know, I get it, but it does matter, that lead track, and especially back in the day, you know, in the 80s. But everything was bought and paid. I mean, you'd be surprised what went down back then. I mean, look, the second record was going to get really a lot of attention because Cellar was so big.
Right.
So it was good. The sophomore record, you know, is it gonna suck? Is it gonna? But you know, we were ready. Again, we were prepared. We had written a bunch of songs, and we had a couple left over. So who knows? But I get what you're saying. If that was a lead track, it would have been whatever. But hey, it's giving me almost 4 million records. I ain't complaining.
I
Yeah, no
understand that, as well as Closer to My Heart. You know, had that been released as well, I know
great
you're
song.
kind of like a non-ballad guy with Ratt. You kind of wave that flag a little bit, but I gotta
interrupt you there. It's not that I didn't dig them, because I wrote that song,
Absolutely.
Closer to My Heart, with Robin. You know, that was my song I brought to Robin and said, here, let's dabble in this. And then there's another song that was pretty much could have been considered the ballad. What I didn't want to do is release it. That's all. Because as far as I'm concerned, Giving Yourself Away later on is probably the best ballad we've ever done. But it wasn't written by any of the guys in Ratt. It was just me, Desmond Child, and Diane Warren. So, you know, I'm not against the ballads, but I just don't like them leading the way.
Sure.
You know, or making.
Speaking of
It was
somebody,
such a fad. That's what I'm saying. It was such a fad back then.
Yes.
You gotta have a ballad. So we pretty much said no.
you know what's crazy? Speaking of you saying something about you not writing whatever song, I was sent a link of somebody called, what are they called, Mac Meda? Mac
Meda, yeah.
Mac
That's
Meda.
Robin's old band.
And I heard I heard I'm Insane and Scene of the Crime, and I was like, wow, I never knew. So
Sure,
Interesting.
that's like, yeah, well, that's like, the songs you'll hear, like In Your Direction off of what, Cellar?
Hmm.
That's a Mickey Ratt song. I wrote that in like 1976,
Wow.
77. The whole EP is Mickey Ratt songs. Those were songs that were in my set. And the
Right.
only songs that, when we hired everybody, you see, when Robin and I put the band together, his band imploded when he moved up to LA. And so did mine. Mickey Ratt. The guys, kind of went their own way, and I went, fuck it. Robin and I finally decided, let's put a band together, and that's what we did. Robin joined Mickey Ratt, and we, did what we had to do,
Yeah. And now, speaking of Mickey Ratt, have you spoken to Jakey Lee in a while?
No, I haven't. He's a rat bastard. I call anybody who's been in Rat or hanging around me a rat bastard in a band. But Jakey's always a talent, because when Jakey was in the band and we were a four-piece with two of the original Mickey Ratt guys, first Chris Hager left, then we pulled Jakey in. And that's when Motley was coming around. And then at that time, Robin used to come and jam with my band, with Jakey. I'll put up some photos in a couple days and show you this one gig where Robin jammed with Jakey and my band. Wow. And so Robin was already part of the nucleus when Jakey was in the band, because Jake didn't want to be in a two-guitar band. So he kind of split to do the Dio trip and ended up in Ozzy, which is ironic in itself, because we opened up that whole Bark at the Moon tour after Ozzy split. Motley split the tour, and we saw Jakey every day all the way around the world. Wow. Canada, Europe, the U.S. So it was a blast, man. That's cool. A backstage blast for you.
Talk about a blast. That Geico commercial that you guys released. Talk about a funny commercial, and it would play all the time, during football games, whenever, and there you are, up in the attic doing your thing. And what kind of resurgence did that do for you guys? Did it put Round and Round back on the charts? What's going on with that?
Yeah, it did.
Nice.
It actually did, top 20. Yeah, rock tracks. Yeah, it did, and it did. It was very cool, actually. It's we have never done anything like that, and we had the opportunity and we did it. I wish it was the original guys, though. That would have been cool.
Yeah, no kidding.
A lot cooler. But you know what? Once again, I call it getting the job done. Have a good time and do what you got to do. It did well. It started again. Yeah.
Nice.
They seem to keep putting you guys in an attic of some sort,
Well, we came from the cellar. Who knows?
Right.
That's right.
You guys are in the basement, man.
Hey, we've got some viewer.
Yeah, it's time to get everybody. It's time to get everybody back in the cellar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. We've got some viewer comments. There's one that I've got to read to you, or this guy's going to kill me. He's a friend of mine. His name's Tim Hudson. Yeah. He lives about 45 minutes from here in Bartlesville. He wants you to know that the first concert he ever saw was Ratt at the Expo Pavilion here in Tulsa in '85 on your Invasion of Your Privacy tour, and he wanted you to know that it straight up changed his life. And he said they had to sneak out and take one of his friend's mom's cars to see you guys, but he wanted you to know it changed his life, and he appreciates you and Ratt.
Well, fucking right back at you, because that was, I got to tell you, right around later after Out of the Cellar, I don't remember a good few years, so I must have had a good time.
Then you did it. You absolutely did it right. I believe the concert he's talking about was Ratt, Poison, and Joan Jett.
Really? Yeah. Awesome.
No, I think it was
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Was it?
For Invasion of Your Privacy? No, you guys were headlining then, weren't you?
No, Poison was Dancing Undercover.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, okay.
We got another question from a viewer. Steve McCabe says, "How did you guys find Jordan Ziff, and is he playing with you now?"
The hired guy. Well, we just I don't know. We did auditions. It's just word of mouth, Yeah, he's a good player. I think he's got I think his trip is directed into another way, not necessarily the Ratt trip, but he's getting the job done for now. He's talented. He's talented, very talented. He does all this guitar stuff with Marty Friedman and stuff. So he's he's a good player.
Yeah, and then Chris Sanders just recently left you guys. Any replacements?
Yeah, unfortunately, he was a good. I liked him. He was good, but look, the band will never be the same until I pull the other guys together, or whoever's left. It just kind of, to me, it's just I don't know. I got to tell you, I wish it was a different scenario, and maybe possibly could be sometime, but time's running out, man.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate and respect these guys who sit in, like Carlos and stuff, but I never wanted to become a band that would do something like that.
Well,
have to have all these players,
right.
Just to get the music across,
So how is your relationship with Warren and Bobby right now?
Oh, I see Bobby. I talk to Bobby all the time. He did my live stream concert that I did, and it was brilliant.
Nice.
He came up for a few songs, and who knows? He might actually. We'll see. Maybe he'll be playing drums in the Rat Bastards. Who knows?
So is Warren being the difficult one out of all of these guys? Is he the one that's being the tough one?
Oh, I ain't talking about anything like that. Yeah, that's to the stars. That's left to the stars, my friend.
Right.
Warren's always respectful, man. He is again a crucial part of Ratt, and so it's it's kind of hard to get what we're really about across live. That's why I like my solo trip, because I can get it across the way I think it should be, in delivery and sound and stuff. But when you got all these guys coming and going, it's something I really don't take to.
Yeah.
But Warren is always a Rat, and he's a brilliant guitar player still. We have some unfinished business. We started writing some songs and never finished them. So, Warren, I'll be getting you up there soon enough.
Right.
Your Point Break song, Nobody Rides for Free, which is probably a great song. I love it. I love the vibe of that whole song. And I know, Robin wasn't, much part of anything like that. You guys were, I guess, a four-piece at that point. Tell me a little bit about writing that song.
Well, that song was brought to us again, during the 80s. It was so cool back then, back when, because the music was everybody was getting involved in movies and songs and movies, so we would get approached all the time. Hence, Golden Child and Point Breaks and whatever. But that song was given to us. Warren and Juan and myself kind of, had at it and went, we got to make this sound like Ratt. But we liked the opportunity, so we kind of dabbled in it and changed things and rearranged and put my sound on it, and hence we have a great song.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Hey, were you pleased with how that Behind the Music documentary came out on you guys?
I don't know if it was the real meat and potatoes shit, but it was fun. I mean, there you go again, all these things had to happen back then.
Right.
You had a new format, MTV and CDs and this, so everything was, you got to try this, you got to do this. What I do really like is our Unplugged. I think that was a really cool thing. I wish Robin would have been involved in that.
Yeah.
But that was something that was cool. We tried to not do what everybody was doing, put it that way. Ratt tried to keep itself out of that, whether it hurt us or not, as far as, the popularity contest. We didn't really give a shit, you know. There were just some things we didn't want to be looped into, you know, or grouped into.
Sure.
Well, you know, those unplugs. I mean, to me, there was like this a handful that were just great. And, you know, Kiss's Unplugged was fantastic. Plus, got them to, get back together. You had Alice in Chains. I thought they did a fantastic job. And then you guys just killed it. And it was so awesome. Even Way Cool Jr. was cool, acoustically. It's just like, so props to you on that, man. That was awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thanks. I mean, I like doing acoustic stuff, That's where you really have to show your stick it out, because you don't have all these sound and distorted in this, you can get away with making mistakes.
Right.
Acoustic guitar is the best way to deliver something honestly, and
yes,
it was fun to do. It was cool having Fred Corey up there and Michael Schenker, and who has been a friend for forever, and so it was a blast. It was definitely a cool trip.
Stephen, I want to ask you about 1980s Sunset Strip for a few minutes. So many of the bands came out of there. I mean, you had your Dawkins, you had your Motley, you had you guys, you had all these bands, Guns N' Roses. Tell us a little bit about it, would you? The Sunset Strip, the Troubadour, the Roxy. What was that like for a young man like you, a rock and roll guy? It must have been paradise.
Oh, well, it took a lot of work, I mean, to get from Gazzarri's to the whiskey took me a couple of years, and when Motley was at was hitting the whiskey headlining, Ratt was just getting out of Gazzarri's as a house band, actually where the Doors, Van Halen, and Ratt started, as Bill Gazzarri would say, but then you move to the Roxy, then you move to the whiskey. But once we got to the whiskey, we had made it, but the whole scene back then is undescribable. You can't, it would be like watching the Doors movie in the, where it's all the crowds in the street and the people and fucking on lawns and everybody's barfing on each other and you don't know who you're meeting. I mean, it was fun, and like I say, when Molly and Ratt became friends, we called ourselves the Gladiators, and we took over the Strip. It was fun.
So cool.
And then it got weak. Then it got kind of funky. Nothing really cool, because everybody was getting signed left and right. It was almost like it had no meaning. After. Yeah, it was like, let's find the new Motley, let's find the new Ratt, the Van Halen, let's find, and then thank God Guns N' Roses came out and smacked everybody around.
Right.
We had Phil Lewis in here a few months back, and he was talking about how he lives in Vegas now. He got out of California, and a lot of your peers are getting out of California. Do you ever see yourself getting out of California?
Oh, I'm in space every day.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm always out of California.
Great. That's a great answer.
Yeah, I mean, wherever I lay my hat is my home. I'm always prepared to do a move, but I don't know if I'm willing to go to a Nashville or a Vegas or I'd go to like Machu Picchu or something.
There you go. That's cool.
Speaking of Nikki and Tommy, you guys were all buds and hanging out and stuff, and Robin's hanging out with Nikki, living together, and his face is he became other than you, the other face in Ratt. Of course you have Warren, a guitar hero, but you and Robin were just all over the place, and I always wondered what would have been like had you, Nikki, and Tommy, and Robin, you, and someone else, maybe Mick or Warren, do like a super group. There's all these super groups like Velvet Revolver. You guys ever think about that stuff back then, doing like this little super group?
There are some more stories I gotta tell in my next book, and it'll blow you away, because I only talked about some things,
right?
But there was a point where Nikki, Tommy, Robin, and myself. You got to watch my documentary. You're going to hear some stories you've never heard. So I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Good. We can't wait for this.
Absolutely looking forward to that.
Definitely.
You know, I just want to touch on one more thing, and then we're going to ask you some questions from the chat room. There's a lot of people in the chat room giving you a lot of praise, and hope you come back and watch this show and look at all the comments and maybe interact with some of them. But today, when I was doing some research, we only had a few days, and I want to thank Christy Dare for setting this up with us. She was very professional and very cool with me, so I appreciate that.
Yes.
But
no problem.
Robin Crosby, of course, he said in the Behind the Music documentary, he said his quote was that he lived the life of 100 men. And I want to say that you probably have lived a life of about 1,000 men. Am I right on that?
Yeah, well, I don't know why I keep ticking. There will be a day, you're everybody. That's one thing you don't really want to look forward to is your calling,
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we beat ourselves up and lived pretty daring existence, I'd say, because anything went. And Robin and I were, you mentioned us always around. Yeah, we created the band. We were always thinking and always working on image, music, songs. It was 24/7. There was no bullshit. That's one thing about Robin. I wish he was around now. There was no bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And on that, we've lived lives of people should for the aspiring musician, or wannabe rock guys, out there, careful what you wish for,
Yeah.
Because you might get it and you'll be out of here fucking days later. You never know.
Sure. Living that way, you kind of set the blueprint for young 80s teens such as, Scott and myself just the lifestyle and you've been a lifelong rock and roller, man. I mean, it's funny. I went back and listened to Out of the Cellar just not too long ago. I posted it on Facebook. It's like every single fucking song on the whole thing is just. It was such a great album, man. Do you think that's what you'll be known for in the end when you finally hit that day? You think it's going to be, he's known best for Out of the Cellar. Or Round and Round.
Yeah, well, it's they say that your first record, it just doesn't happen overnight. You've been working on that shit for years.
Oh yeah.
Like I say, some of those songs are, they go back but when you get a charm like, Warren, Robin, and I sitting together in a one-bedroom apartment of mine, Ratt Mansion West, and we're throwing tape deck to tape deck, and that's how Round and Round came about. It's quite an achievement. So it doesn't happen overnight. People go, oh yeah, they just happened and got huge sometimes, but a lot of time and effort.
Sure.
Yeah. We've had a lot of great guests on our show, a lot of cool rockers, but I feel that you're our first bona fide rock star that's we've got to interview, with your tattoos, the fast cars, the women. I mean, you did it all. And
the marijuana.
I know you're kind of doing some Top Fuel racing and your love for James Bond, and you're putting these albums out that's got, your last solo album's got all of these themes from James Bond. But I know you do a lot of Top Fuel racing. We have a couple friends here in Tulsa that we're friends with, that we're mutual friends with. And they do a lot of Top Fuel racing as well.
Johnny
Nitro
and Alan Peebles.
And
Alan.
Yeah.
Of course, I know Johnny. Yeah, man, totally
friends of ours.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, way cool. Yeah, drag racing. Well, put it this way: if I wasn't, if Fate wouldn't have stepped in, you wouldn't have had Ratt. And as Fate did step in, I'm not racing cars because that's actually what I wanted to do, was race a Top Fuel funny car, or dragster when I was really young. And, so that didn't happen through Fate, but at least, I still can, be involved in racing, and that's been very cool. A lot of great friends have given me, we've worked together on cars, given me their paint, and, Jeff Deal, Scusa, to Home Wreckers, to Clay Milliken, to Evan Knoll, to God, the list goes on. These great guys helping me out, flying the Ratt. Flying Ratt and Roll is incredible. So hopefully we can get out there real soon. Maybe the end of the year I can have something together, another car out there, and it's all about rock and roll. Ratt music to me is like drag racing. It's fast, dangerous, and exciting. And colorful, and that's how I see it.
Now, I know you've been talking about releasing some old, wanting to release some old Ratt material. How
Yes.
advanced has that got?
Well, the boxes of tapes are out, and they're in the music room, so we'll see what comes up. It's definitely going to happen. There are bootlegs out there. I mean, I'm looking at some today. But you know what? I have the ultimate bootleg Ratt collection, so
I'm sure.
just wait for my shit, and it'll be a lot better.
Definitely looking forward to it. So let's get to some questions in the chat room,
Yeah.
And then we'll let him go.
Yeah, you brought up the documentary, and I know we mentioned it a little bit early in the interview, but people are very interested in that documentary. Tell us one more time when you expect that to be released and where people can find it.
Pearcy, when do we expect that to be released? The Sci TV documentary.
We're wrapping up everything this weekend.
Yeah, it's wrapping up this weekend actually, and she's been busting her ass on it, and on a Sci TV, and so we'll announce it hopefully next week when we get back from the trip.
Great.
These shows, the
Awesome.
solo show and the Ratt show here. We'll announce, and it's going to be insane. It really is. It gets way personal. I go to a lot of places, and to where we started, and to where I started, to where Ratt was created. It needed to be done, and then we go right into production on another one.
Wow.
And then our TV show. So
Wow.
we're really busy.
Super
Yeah,
cool.
we want to say hello to Christy. There's someone that's asking about Christy. Is that Christy? Yeah, that's her.
We,
Hi.
She's
Hello.
like she's like a supermodel. I mean, how in the hell did you land that one? You're supposed to be a Ratt. Rats don't get supermodels, do they?
She's a super freak. She's a super.
She's super freaky.
No, she's the spy. She's the spy. The spy that I love.
There you go. We have another cool comment from our friend Ryan Kirk. He said Ratt had the balls to open for Metallica. What was that like?
I don't know. Actually, Metallica opened for Ratt
There you go.
on Day on the Green, and who would have known that they would have been this massive empire? I mean, they were great. They made the right moves, and you know what? Back in the day, we kind of knew each other. Back in the day, we played a roller rink together.
Wow.
Like in 1981 or something.
Jeez.
Billy Barty's roller rink. You know
Wow.
that Billy Barty guy
Yeah.
from Ringling Brothers? Yeah, he owned a roller skating rink and had bands play shows in like the early 80s, 81, 82. And we did a show together, unbeknownst to us, and then years later, we did Day in the Green, and they said, LA's got too many posers. We're out of here.
That's funny. That's
Right.
hilarious.
So, and they made the right move, because look at them now.
Right.
Metallica,
Exactly.
much respect, man.
For
So
sure.
cool.
And we've got another question from Carly Erickson. Who will be out on the road with you when you play with your solo band for Rocklahoma?
My band.
It will be Eric, as always. We got a lot more shows to announce. It would be Eric Ferentinos lead guitars, Frankie Wilsey, X Arcade C Hags on guitars. It will be a Rat Bastard drummer out there this weekend. Another one, not Scotty Coog, Joaquin Revolt. And our bass player is now Jerry Montana from Hell Yeah on bass.
Wow.
and I'm gonna be yelling at you, entertaining you, and it's gonna be way cool.
Hey, Steven, let me ask you real quick, because Rocklahoma's been around now for like about 14 years. Is it something? Is it something that the big artists look forward to doing every year? They do it now. You know, when you see it on the schedule. It's
you know, hey, look, there's a few gigs like that. Sure, I mean, you know, Ratt, I dig Oklahoma. I've done it in Ratt, done it solo a few times, couple times. Yeah, some of these events, you know, we look forward to. You know, like Brainerd coming up here. You know, it's a freak session, man. There's like just tons of just rockers, you know, having a good time.
You know, we actually played Rocklahoma in 2007, and you were on tour with Poison at that point, and you guys landed, I believe it was a Saturday night, and you were running around all day, and I got to see you and hang out with you a little bit, but you were on a bicycle, and I think you take that bicycle everywhere you go, I think.
I think I just stole it then. I think I stole it for that gig. I just took it from somebody. Said, I'm going to take this and drive around and drink everybody's booze or something. I don't know.
I mean, Stephen Pearcy doesn't need a golf cart. He just needs a bicycle.
That's right.
Oh, bicycles are way cool, man. Just got to watch out for the cars. That's what laid me out. You know?
Sure, man. Well, we want to make sure that we give you some parting words, and we will want to give people your website address. It's the Ratt Pack, and that's RATT, of course, therattpack.com, or you can go to officialstephenpearcy.com. Is there any parting words you'd like to give your fans that are watching out there?
Hey, you know, it's all way cool. I'm glad, you know, I can get out there and still have a good time and you know, give people what was just not in my brain, you know, and hopefully near future or something, who knows what'll happen here. I see good things coming up, but you know, take it day by day, and you can find most of the information of what's going down on officialstephenpearcy.com. There's a lot going on, and it's not just about music, you know, but me, I totally appreciate everybody still who gets off on Ratt and my music. It is very special thing, you know. This many years later, I love writing, and it's still a good time, you know. Yes. And that's what it's supposed to be. And as long as I'm around, we'll have a good time.
Awesome, man.
Yep. Well, thank you for all those years of rock and roll service, because I often say, for guys like me, man, you know, it's you know, that's the first and foremost thing in life, and you know, you've got to do it for a long time and lived a very charmed life. So we thank you for all those years of rock and roll.
Yeah, and well, I appreciate that, and I also still, you know, the I hate calling them fans. You know, to me, they're friends. Everybody out there digs the music and invests in you. You know, their time, their money, and everything. Look, I'll guarantee you one thing. You know, you'll have a great time. And so I call this thing fans. It's cool, but they're friends. They've been around for years, you know.
That's cool.
And I still appreciate it, man. I still love yelling at you, and it's all good, you know.
Fantastic.
Well, we're gonna reach out to Warren, and we're gonna get him on this show, and we're gonna bridge this thing together. And all I ask, other than giving you a plate of barbecue food, I want to get up and at least like do a song with you or something.
Oh, there you go.
That's all I want.
I'll run into you at Rocklahoma, right?
Yes.
That's right, man.
I think my band's playing the same night.
We'll bring the clan and we'll hang out and take it from there.
Rocklahoma. And hey, one more thing before we let you go. Before Rocklahoma, if we can get you back on here and maybe this time we'll do a Zoom phone call, and we'll get you and hype up the Rocklahoma show for you.
Well, sure, man, and I'm sure we'll have a date for the documentary, and I'd love people are gonna freak. They're gonna really trip, because we haven't done anything like this, and it's about time,
man.
You know, that the real word gets out and the real shit gets out there about my band Ratt. You know, how it was created. And Robin, you know, who was very special and very important to this band. And like I said, if he was here now, and he is, he'd be kicking some ass to make sure it was what we wanted it to be,
Right.
a kick-ass rock band.
For sure.
I have a question. So we had Rudy Sarzo on, and Rudy Sarzo spent the last 38 years talking about Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've had to talk about Ratt? And not that you've had to. I mean, because obviously you he was a great guy, but you've had to talk a lot about Robin throughout the years too. And so that never bothers you to do that, does it?
No. Robin needs more, deserves a lot more credit than, I wish he was, around. And actually he is. I go to my music room, there's a picture of him right there staring me down, making sure I don't fuck up.
Get your shit together.
I'm creative, and
Nice.
and his spirit is there, and shit, I'll even ask him a question now and then.
Wow.
Absolutely, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
So
Well, we hope we hope you watch back this interview. It's a fantastic interview, and if you could do us a favor, maybe share it here and there on your social pages so your fans
of course.
could really enjoy this interview, because you're just top notch and
Yes.
and one of the best interviews we've had, and we really appreciate you and Christy doing this for us, and hopefully in the future before Rocklahoma we'll get you back on. But Ratt and roll to you, buddy,
You got
man.
it. And you guys, thank you very much, you guys. All you guys, I don't know how many of you are there, but thank you so much.
3. There's only 3.
Oh, all right. The
Thank-
dynamic trio.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, my friend. We'll talk to you guys soon, and take care out there.
Thank you, Stephen.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you, bud.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go.
Dang, guys.
Man, that was awesome. So cool. And that's how I'm going fanboy, but I didn't go fanboy.
You waited till we hung up, and then you went, oh, my God.
I mean, that's awesome how the interview went.
Yeah.
It
It
was
went
good.
really
It
smooth.
was
He was
good.
really cool. And I want to thank all the people who, is in the chat room that listen to this. Palace, Don, Freddie Ferguson, Michael Bunch.
We got someone from Australia
Tina
in the chat room.
Trippy-Law.
I know.
Check it
Someone,
out.
yeah.
Someone named Brendan Van Drumel.
Yeah, Shelley Folta,
Shout out.
Denise Dossing, Ann Hunt, who put together our Rocket Science fan page.
My
which is
sister
first.
Sarah.
Mary Beth Reeves, who was at the Motley Crue tribute. Thank you so much. I gave him some CDs. Doug Burgess. We talked a little bit about Doug and his stage there at Rocklahoma. Make sure you get there and get some tickets for Rocklahoma and see Stephen Pearcy's solo band. Thank you, Ray, Kimberly McCrae, Ryan Kirk, Susie, Devin, Candy Goodnight, Sonia
Everybody.
Peck, all you guys.
Jay
man.
Brown in the house.
Stacy Vance,
Angie K.
Marty Overby. Cool. Thank you guys so much. That was a great interview.
It's fun.
Man, that was fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Mhm, me too.
A lot of just
Debauchery.
a ballsy rock and roll attitude.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And I knew we were going to get that out.
He doesn't make any apologies for any of it either,
No.
He's
To me,
Fucking-
like I said, he was our first bona fide rock star on this show.
But you know what?
The Sunset Boulevard tattoos,
Yeah.
the fast women, the fast cars. He did it all, man.
Yep.
You
Right.
you can sit there and go, oh, that guy's so wild and crazy. But that last comment he made where he called his fans friends, that shows character, and that shows that he's got a good heart. So
Sure.
I mean,
Stephen
just like this-
Pearcy, way to go.
Yeah, just like the social media comment about Sebastian Bach and how Dee Snider and them, how they interact with their fans a little bit. Now not all the time, but they do kind of fuss and fight with some of their fans, and sometimes rightfully so. Fans and people, followers on Twitter and all, they can get kind of nasty on there. So
They do.
Sure.
there's nothing wrong with defending yourself, but shit, he kind of gets back and forth a lot. And Steven just he's an even keel. He just rolls. He just lets it roll off his back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's always been that way. And I've been friends with him on Facebook, and I always enjoy his posts. And he has fun, and he doesn't take everything too damn serious.
No, and that usually, those are the people that live for a long, long time, the ones that can let stuff roll off. So he's a good example in that regard for
Yeah.
us. And
I
Shit.
thank you, Stephen, for coming on our show. I know I've been bugging him for over a year now since we started this thing. And the reason why I wanted him on this show was because of the fact that how he interacts with his social media and on his social media platforms.
Good guy.
Yeah, very, very, very good interview, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the hits keep on coming. We did this tonight. Just had a few days to prepare for it. But like we've said before, when you get these national artists, you take them as soon as they can come on. And we again appreciate Stephen Pearcy and his assistant Christy Adair for making that interview happen. We're going to be back here in just a couple nights. This is a double week for us. So 2 nights from tonight, Thursday, June 24th. And that one's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Is that right? Is that one at 7:30 or 6:30?
Everyone's thanking us in the chat room. Thank you guys. You guys make this happen. I mean, you guys coming in here and giving us support, our guest support. It means a lot to us. And if you guys just spread the word, we have T-shirts for sale. All that stuff helps. It helps us get a new camera, which, hey, give them another view of that camera, can you?
Oh, yeah, but I couldn't see your face.
That's all right.
I can back up.
Oh, wait. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. There we go. Hey, there you go. We got to upgrade that.
Well, we need to maybe move it a little bit over that way.
We need to upgrade it, too, because it's not as clear as this one. But anyway, I think I have this. I think we're on the air Thursday at 6:30. I think I got that screwed up. So
yeah, I think you're right. It's 6:30.
6:30, and that's going to be with Alex Grossi. Boy, I screwed that whole thing up big time. Anyway, Alex Grossi.
Quiet Riot.
And Chips Enough are both going to be on with us this Thursday night at 6:30
Chips Enough is from Enough's Enough with the new thing. And
Fly High Michelle.
And they're coming to town soon, and us and Poster Child are going to jam with them on a Sunday night later.
And I want to say that
Sunday
Chip
night
is going
jam.
to, I think Chip's going to be like in, I want to say Grand Rapids.
Really?
Yeah, they'll be doing a show with Faster Pussycat.
That's cool.
I tried to get Tammy on that so we can do like both Chip and Tammy on the Zoom call.
Well, we got 2 that week as well.
Do we really?
Well, it's July 13th.
Oh, that's
July 17th.
right, we do. Yeah, so let's talk about the episode after this Thursday. And let me say that again because I botched it. This Thursday at 6:30, Alex Grossi and Chips Enough. After that, we have Tuesday, July 13th at 7 p.m. Ron Keel. Nice job.
Ron
Keel will be on
Love
with
that
us.
album, The Right to Rock and Frontiers.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Final Frontier.
What's neat about Ron is he's still really active now. So we're going to be talking about a lot of what he's doing now. And these artists want to stay relevant. They don't want to just live in the past.
Sure.
And we're here to help promote.
But he's much like Stephen Pearcy, where that's what they've done their whole lives.
Right.
They haven't stopped doing what they've always done.
Nickelback coming up as well.
Yeah, 4 days after Ron Keel, Saturday, July 17th at 1 p.m. And that's going to be with the bassist from Nickelback, Mike Kroger. We appreciate Identity Merch's help on that one.
Thank you, Todd.
And then the last one on the list for now, we'll be adding more soon, will be Greg Chasen from Badlands. That's Sunday, July 25th at 7. So it is busy times up here.
Man, there was a whole nother page over here. I thought we were done. And I could have asked him about the Big Rock Summer.
You know what, though?
The start, he gave
us
the court
an hour.
battle over the name Ratt. I missed out on a bunch of these questions.
Listen, he's going to come back.
That's
remember?
right. We'll save this page.
Save page
and also, we've got to tell Warren that we are coming for him.
Yeah,
right?
We're coming for you, Warren DeMartini.
Yeah, it's going to happen. We're going to bridge this gap, definitely.
Awesome.
Come together.
We'll do
anyway.
it.
Cool.
Superpowers, activate.
So, hey, we're going to let you guys go get some sleep. We're going to do the same. We'll be back here in 2 nights.
Padres are on tonight.
We are on multiple platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and there will be a lot more coming as far as our groups and everything on Facebook. We're going to be on multiple channels. That way many of you can get to it and join the chat room. There's a whole nother chat room over here through Restream, and I get to see everybody chiming in from different platforms. So I appreciate everybody for checking that out. And if you're on YouTube, Twitter, whatever, follow us, friend us. We need, especially on Twitch. We know nobody on Twitch.
Right, we're like foreigners there.
Let's get the 80s music loving millennials on Twitch to follow us.
Yeah,
right.
The gamers,
all 7 of them.
We'll get the gamers, gamers on there.
Get your son on that. He's going to help us promote.
I tell you what. Before we did this, I just couldn't sleep much, because I was like, when are we ever going to get our show on Twitch? But now that we finally did, I'm thinking I'm going to have some long night of, good sleep ahead of
us.
You deserve
God.
it. You deserve it.
The minute Scott sleeps is the minute I get to sleep.
Hey, it's been a lot of work, but we're pulling this shit off, man. We're doing it.
Yeah, good job, everybody. This one deserves a fist bump for sure. Boom.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
Form of
an eagle. It was always a bird in water.
an ice pickle.
Right.
And we again want to thank Teresa Gaddy for helping us with the viewer comments and keeping tabs on the chat. That's an important role, and we appreciate her help. So, anywho's, let's get out of here. We'll see you guys Thursday night when we talk to Alex Grassi from Quiet Riot and Chips Enough from Enough's Enough. That'll be at 6:30 p.m. our time. So tune in then.
Girls on Film.
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Much love, guys. We're going to get out of here. Have a great night. See you Thursday.